As many of you have most likely seen by now, Modern Warfare and Infinity Ward have been springing leaks left, right and centre. It seems like every day, for a few days, more and more info is being released about the upcoming title. If Infinity Ward was a ship, it would have sunk by now given the number of leaks there are, and seriously, they need to consider hiring a plumber or something because this has truly gotten out of hand. So far, we have seen leaks on a ton of perks that will be in the game, some old, some new, a list of kill streaks, some new game moves, a list of equipment that we'll be able to use in the game, and even more map details with returning favourites already have been confirmed. By the time this video goes up though, I won't be surprised if even more leaks are floating around Twitter and then promptly being taken down, of course. But if you haven't been keeping up, let me go through the entire list of leaks we have found so far, so you too can drown in the vast amount of knowledge leaking from Infinity Ward HQ. Before I do though, I just want to say really quickly, if you do go on to like this video, hit the like button, I would really appreciate it, and consider subscribing if you want to stick around and keep up to date with this topic. I also want to say massive thank you to everyone who subscribed recently, you were the best. Anyway, let's get back into the video. So what should we cover first then? I think the perk list would be an ideal place to start, as there are some interesting talking points within this. So let's go through what we know so far then. We have some regulars like Amped, Battle Hardened, Cold Blooded, Double Time, EOD, and Ghost, which is an interesting one actually, as I've heard it's supposed to be the overpowered version where you are constantly cloaked from the UAV instead of actually the nerfed version from Black Ops, where you actually had to be at least on the move to remain off the radar. It's kind of a shame because it promotes that camping style of gameplay that plagued Modern Warfare 2019. But then we have the likes of Hardline, High Alert, Kill Chain, Overkill, and then Quick Fix, which I believe is being introduced from COD Mobile, if I'm correct. I don't play much of that game, but I think it's in there. If you're unaware of what that does, it starts the health regeneration faster after each kill and whilst capturing objectives. So definitely one for the more aggressive type of players, which I do like. Then we have Restock, Scavenger, Shrapnel, Spotter, Tracker, Tune-Up, and Overwatch, which is a totally new one. I have no idea what that could be. I imagine it would help with the minimap maybe, or some form of intel at the very least. Then Survivor, which I'm hoping isn't a rehash of Juggernaut or Last Stand, because that would be a hilarious mistake to make. Then Extra Tactical is now a perk for some reason, going back to the OG Call of Duty 4 days, similar to the 3x flash perk you could get in slot 1. Not sure how effective this one would be though compared to some others out there, but we'll have to wait and see. We then have a perk called Focus, which I think will act similar to the weapon perk of the same name in Modern Warfare 2019, where it would reduce flinch, weapon sway in scopes, and the amount of time you could hold your breath whilst using a sniper rifle. And finally, on the perk side of things, we have Pitcher, which has to be something aimed at throwing tacticals or lethal equipment further maybe? Not faster, as that's already done by Amped, or maybe it's the velocity of which items are thrown. I mean, imagine being able to throw a knife double the velocity as it already does. That could potentially be broken, but extremely fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what these new perks are now, because there are some really interesting ones. But yeah, that's everything we know so far on the perks themselves. A ton of old favourites, as you might expect, and mainly they're there for consistency and the inevitable merge into Warzone 2 as well. We never ever get a full list of new perks, so it's something not to expect there really. Again though, Warzone 2 might have some additional perks as we have at the moment with Tempered and stuff, so who knows there. The names of the new perks are pretty interesting here too. I like how they're always vague but always lean to something as well. So what do you guys think they could be? Because again, I've given my 2 cents on the matter, but I could be totally wrong on those ones. Hopefully none of them are totally broken, but either way we will soon find out. And we're always bound to get at least 1 or 2 absolutely game-breaking ones anyway, and they can be extremely fun at times. Alright, so moving over to the leaked kill streaks here, and this list is significantly shorter, so if you're still awake, firstly, well done. Reward yourself with a like on the video. But secondly, hang in there because we'll smash through this one really quick. A key thing to note here too though is it specifically says kill streaks and not score streaks, which shakes it up from the last 2 games. Again, kind of leans into the camping style of gameplay as it puts more pressure on your single life. And I do like the score streaks more overall, but it's not something I'm too bothered about in the grand scheme of things. So first off, we have the classic UAV, which is great and integral, especially if the classic minimap is coming back. Then we have a really interesting one called Fuel Bomb, which could be something really lame like a Molotov. If that's the case, that's just sad and no one wants that to be a kill streak again. But it could be more like a napalm strike of sorts, which would be really cool for large spread area denial on objective game modes, and we've seen it before in the likes of Black Ops 1. Then we have smoke airdrop, which doesn't sound too fancy at all really, and could be very annoying actually. It's going to swing one way or another, I think. If it's totally useless, no one's going to use it. And if it's excellent, everyone will use it, and every game will turn into a smoke and thermal sight fight, which I'm not sure about you guys, sounds like hell to me. Next up is the thermobaric strike, which will work similar to mortars, I'm guessing. Large shells drop from the sky, at least thinking that's what it is. Then finally, for the kill streaks, we have the cluster spike, which may be just a spin on the cluster strike from Modern Warfare 2019, just renamed. I don't know. Unless it's a huge spike that then splits up into small spikes and then drops a ton of conker shells everywhere. I mean, their spike is hell, but I doubt that. Some of them sound pretty cool, others a little vague and possibly useless, but again, it's all speculation at this point. We'll find out soon enough. Now we have the field upgrades and or equipment. Well, it says field upgrades, but some of these sound a little like they should be a one-time equipment use. So we can make our minds up as we go along here. First, we have the EMP. This was a kill streak back in the day, but I don't think it will affect the entire lobby as it did back then. Maybe it's just a small area or a single person. The effects you can expect are disrupting electronics and HUD, most likely. And then we have one of my favorites, yet the most useless ones, returning from the original Black Ops game, the tactical camera, which is hopefully is a little bit better than what it used to be. It used to be an old big tripod that you just place down in the corner and it would present a live feed in a small square on your screen where the minimap would be. So there's already a big trade-off there. You can't see your minimap, and it was super situational as well. I mean, I loved it because it was really wacky and you could have some fun with it, but overall a little bit useless. And then we have the inflatable decoy, which could be really fun for trolling people, especially if it's deflated but then pops up super quick when an enemy walks by it, creating some kind of jump scare, similar to how people used to use the sprays in Warzone as a small distraction when someone walks into the room so you can get the drop on them. I think that'd be a really good idea to make that an actual equipment a bit more useful as well. Then we have the stim pistol, which we have most recently seen in Battlefield 2042, funnily enough. Not sure how this one will function. Maybe it'll function similar to what we see in Battlefield 2042. To be honest, it might just replace the stim we already have. I'm not too sure, but this time you can shoot friendlies from afar and boost them. Or will it revive down teammates in Warzone 2? Because that would actually be really overpowered as well, but who knows. Then we have Battle Rage, which sounds insane. Again, sounds like more health or more speed, which could be similar to Stim. Then we have Sonar Pulse, which sounds like a one-time UAV pulse, which could be pretty cool, actually, or even a replacement for the heartbeat sensor, please. Thank you. And instead of it being a tactical, it's just a field upgrade instead. And lastly, we have the Sound Veil, which seems like it should just be similar to Dead Silence or Ninja, unless it's an item that you can place down and it totally deafens everyone within that area of effect. A bit like the Jammer now, but for all sound. Okay, so far so good. We're flying through this. The next section is the game modes, and we have a lot of game modes already confirmed, so I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to pick the more interesting sounding ones that have leaked, like Bounty. Now, we don't know if these are regular 6v6 game modes or even ground war modes. This one feels like a smaller kind of mode where you have a VIP and one team's defending the VIP and one is hunting them down. Single life kind of thing, and this could be very interesting, so let me know what you guys think. Infected returns, which is always fun. Then we have something called Knockout, which sounds very specific but also extremely vague, like the rest of this list. I would imagine this is another one life game mode similar to Search, but with waves of spawns, maybe with some tug of war like feature. I think there was a game mode in Gears of War where it was similar to this, where if your teammate dies, the only way to get them back is by eliminating an enemy, and then they would respawn. But if your entire teammate got wiped out, then you lose. I think this would be either really fast-paced or go the other way, where everyone's just camping in corners, too scared to move. In Gears of War, it really worked well. I'm not too sure about a Call of Duty setting, but I would love to see them attempt it, or something like this anyway. Then we have a different variety of ground war called Ground War Bomb, and that can literally mean anything. Deliver a bomb, protect a bomb, teabag a bomb, who knows. But I do look forward to finding out. And that's all the super new ones I could find. The rest are returning modes like Gunfight, which I'm really excited to return, especially in the modern setting. I found the first one super fun. All or Nothing, Demolition, and of course the usual TDM and Domination. Alright, and finally the maps and stuff. I've got it listed down here. I don't know what the stuff is, it's just the maps. But so when it comes to the maps, we don't have too many details, but there are some images that leaked of a few that could be linked into Warzone 2 as well. Firstly, in the trailer itself, it's more of a reveal than a leak, but for a split second, if you pause it at the right moments, you can actually see the legendary map High Rise in there, which is one of my favorites and I'm extremely excited about, especially being from the original Modern Warfare 2. So that's officially confirmed, but all the rest of them not so much. We have leaked images of a Formula 1 track. All of this stuff was leaked by Reality UK on Twitter, by the way, so all credit goes to them, of course. It looks to be set in a modern city with skyscrapers in the background here too. And then we have a desert looking map in an oil mining facility with huge oil tanks and trucks scattered about. Again, could actually be tied to ground war or warzone, because it looks absolutely huge. Thirdly, we have a museum that looks to have a stage for a conference set outside, white stone, large windows everywhere. Then we're taken to a Middle East looking compound, a really fancy building with a statue outside, and another called Hydro, which obviously has some water running through, and again, a sandy biome with palm trees and some buildings in the background. And as we know, water is going to have a massive impact on gameplay this year. We'll be able to swim, use our weapons, and go underwater for cover. And that is about it. That's all we know for the maps so far. I'm sure more info will be scattered around soon, but overall they look really interesting. And I'm really looking forward to Modern Warfare 2 more than I thought I actually would. I mean, that's pretty much it for me, guys, then. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do some of these leaks look scary, overpowered, worrying? Or do they look cool and good? Does it get you hyped for the release is the main thing. Let me know. I want to hear it. But thank you so much for watching once again. Leave a like if you liked. Subscribe if you want to stick around. And until next time, cheers.
UAV is bingo fuel.